Your fucking special is brilliant. So if each of these
guys never feel sorry because they're like, dude, I gave him my best joke.
No,
because it's not really theirs. It's like a thing that's grown. Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
Did you?
I never knew that. I always had it backwards. I always figured like when these guys they get joke writers, that I didn't know that's a cool style.
There's a lot. I like this style better.
Yeah, it's nice.
If HBO comes to me tomorrow and goes, we're going to give you $500,000 in advance pay. We'll give you $250,000 up front and I'm going to get 3 of the best 50 guys I know at the thing. Yeah. I'm not necessarily going to get Joe Rogan or Chris Rock.
Sure.
I might get a feature act that nobody's seen before.
You see that Fahim kid?
Did he fuck it up last night?
He's so good.
Dog, his special's coming out on CISO. I'm going to have him on. I'm going to try to get him on next week. He's fucking good.
Dude, I was like, it's like inspiring to watch. Like he's a bad
motherfucker.
Well,
he's dangerous.
He was like a former engineer. Like he's really smart.
It comes across, man. It comes across. And that dude, I like him. Like I saw him go in and out of characters. And the problem with fucking dudes that are like comic character guys is that they live that character. Then they become, if it's a douchey guy, they're douchey guys. If it's like a Sparta, like, hey, whiz bang sports fan, then they're that guy. But you see a guy like that go in and out of characters, and he's still so solid on his feet of who he's fucking phenomenal.
No, he's phenomenal.
Man.
I'm excited to see his special. This special that I just shot for CISO, I had a cat, Willie Barcena, help me. All right, Willie Barcena's done 19 Tonight shows, so he knows the short set. I didn't want the special to be filthy. You know what I'm saying? I wanted it to be more me, so I would write the material, perform, and send him the performances. And he would write 3 or 4 different things. And that was it. He'd tell me, put this here. Don't use that word because we're here to win a fucking fight, not to lose the. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So there was a lot of things that we went back and forth. No arguments, no nothing. I trusted him 150%. He didn't write my special at all. He helped me. Lee would tape the sets with me. I would tape them on my iPhone, and the next morning I'd email them to Willie. And Willie would send me notes. So by the time I got back from Austin on Sunday, Willie would have all his sets. And Tuesday, when we'd meet, he'd have 2 pages of notes.
That's dope.
And I would go home the rest of the week and practice that shit at Flappers or at the Ha Ha, and just
that's
stay
the
out of the
interesting thing
public eye.
too. There's no doing it. There's no practicing that shit at home.
No.
You have to put your ass on the line, and you might go and look silly. You got to risk everything. You got to go and risk it.
Me shooting a special, I looked at it as me training for a fight against Anderson Silva. That was it. It's the same thing. You got to do the same shit every day. You got to sleep, eat. I got to think about this. I got to get up and my back hurt.
Right.
I've never sat that much in my life. Now I do exercises while I'm sitting down, if I'm sitting that long. But I was trying to write in like 2-hour chunks, smoke dope, run errands, come back, go to a coffee shop now, change locations, 2 hours, go home, and that night after everybody went to bed, I'd go to Starbucks till midnight over here, excuse me, on Magnolia. So I always had different things to you know, I don't
Inspire
like, right,
you.
yeah. You know, I have a conversation with Lee. I love jiu-jitsu, but there's only one thing I don't like about jiu-jitsu, a day like today. Who the fuck wants to roll inside on a day like today? You know what I'm saying? You know, on a day like today, I would usually blow up jiu-jitsu, get kettlebells, go to NoHo Park, swing 5 sets, couple cleans, couple squats, and just walk around the track.
Yeah.
Stretch out, get some sun. That sweat is a natural,
whatever.
Great, I love riding outside in the sun. Like, I love it. I love it. There's something about, you know, if you read Steven Spielberg's book on writing, it's called On Writing. Very interesting book. He talks about a way that he used to have his room and how he breaks it down for motherfucker.
Really?
Oh, Stephen King on Writing breaks it down.
Stephen King, not Steven Spielberg.
No, Stephen King. I'm sorry.
Stephen King, yeah.
So order it right now on Amazon. Right. You're gonna love it. He has great shit because he's like us. He's a real fucking dude. That dude did coke and heroin.
Really?
Yeah, bro. I just heard this shit. Like, he was on Sons of Anarchy.
You know, that's a trip because
he was on Sons of Anarchy. When I
was a kid, I always figured if you're successful, you're on the straight. That's what they sell you. That's if you're on the straight and narrow. if you're success, and like he's a successful writer, so you know, in the meantime,
How the fuck do you think you
all
write
our
a book
heroes
about
kill
a dog
themselves and shit, you know?
that
Yeah, right?
kills people?
Yeah.
You know, I think he had
Carrie,
different-
the dog, the fucking.
Carrie was a piece of paper. Was a couple pages that he had wrote about. He was a janitor at the time in New Hampshire or wherever the fuck he was living, and he was working as a janitor at a high school or grammar school. I don't know. You'll correct me after you read this. And he saw the period box in the girls' bathrooms. So he wrote a couple lines about that, and then he wrote a couple lines about people who have superhuman natural brain abilities.
Right.
People that could move stuff. So he took whatever he had, he wrote like 30 pages on it, he threw it in the garbage. And that night when he got home from work, his wife took it out of the garbage and said, I read this. This is really good. That's Carrie.
Crazy.
How fucking crazy.
That's the wild thing, too, is like how we never good enough for our own shit. For our own critic.
He's going to break down so much shit for you. It's just an interesting book. It's
cool,
whether you want to be a writer or not.
Right.
I mean, this is just a book from this
put that
guy's
onto
perspective.
anything.
And I think he talks about his addictions and like he was snorting blow to write.
Yeah.
You know, last night I was watching something before I went to the store about Ernest Hemingway. Sat at the same fucking place every day and wrote and got hammered. He hung out there for 10 fucking years. You know, the guy that Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Yeah,
he was no
Thompson,
fucking guy.
Bukowski
with this, you know, they were all.
What's his name into the dope?
The Spanish guy, the one that the guy that created Miami Vice.
But everybody.
Yeah. They each got to have something. Yeah. This is what takes that imagination. I remember one time, Tate and I were at, Tate's going to go, Joey Diaz, get the fuck out of here. Tate and I were in Austin, Texas, at the, what's the name of the restaurant we go to, across from the hotel?
Papa Do's.
And me and Eddie and all those guys, but me and Tate were getting into a conversation about how Alice in Chains wrote their music on heroin. Look at him. He's going, oh, my God. And I remember Tate looking at me going, that's interesting. Like, Tate was heavy into the, you know, you were very sober then. You were very proud. And you were like, that's interesting. I can't imagine, Joey. And you went like, what's that song they do? Wood.
Yeah.
Isn't it Wood?
Yeah.
Or Man in the Box.
Or here comes the rooster.
But the one we were talking about was, you know, if you listen to that whole fucking album, it's laced with heroin.
Oh,
down in a hole. If you've ever been in a hole, you know exactly.
You know who they wrote like under a different beat is fucking Lou Reed. Lou Reed used to write fucking poetry, man, street poetry.
We're going in like fucking Marines. You understand me?
Welcome to church, motherfucker.